Tall tales have always been a staple in Ottawa Valley folklore. In this evening in our Valley series, it continues with a look at the storyteller Bernie Bedour. Bedour is a man who has kept part of history alive through his fables of the legendary Muffarajo.
The beauty of the Ottawa River. For 3 centuries, this river has been the highway for explorers, settlers, and lumbermen.
I grew up in a hotel here in Iron Prairie, a small town hotel, and back in the 30s, you see, in pretty rough times. But there were a lot of old retired shantymen there, and some of them 60, 70, 75, 80. One old fellow was 96. They went way back into the 1800s, into the square timber days.
Author and storyteller Bernie Bedour was inspired by these men. Their tales were of the great lumber drives on the river and the rough and tumble shantymen who worked hard and played harder. Bedour started writing his own tall tales, but he needed a name for the character in his stories. It was this name which helped create Bedour's unique Ottawa Valley mythology.
I was going to call him Joe Beef, the moccasin maker from Queel. I was going to call him Johnny Collunge. And then I remembered Joe Muffaraw. We had a fella down the street from us they called Muffaraw Joe Ladderoot. And there was another fella, Muffaraw Clucci. And this is more my age. Why we called him Muffaraw, I still do. I met him downtown not so long ago, and I said, "Hi, Muffaraw," you know. And so I thought, that's a good, I'll just use that. It's a good name.
Joseph Montferrand was born in Montreal in 1802. As a young man, he spent some time in the fur trade and didn't come to the Ottawa Valley until 1827, the same time when Archibald Laird McNabb began his reign in the Iron Prairie area. And while McNabb ruled his township, Montferrand ruled the shanties.
When I dug into the story of Montferrand, I found that his story was greater than fiction, you know? And that's another story altogether, that one about Montferrand. It's really fascinating. But then I joined the two of them together, sort of, and made the mythical character a salute to the great Joe Montferrand. And that's, well, it's established Joe Montferrand now in the minds of this generation. Matter of fact, 3, 4 generations.
Joe used to get real wet from cutting down timber and working up a sweat. And everybody would tear around Carl's place. The Mississippi dripped off of Big Joe's face. Oh, the best man in Ottawa,
And this old Joe here, I got him. The ladies at Deep River one winter had a carnival, and it was about 1966. And they asked me if it'd be all right to make a figure of Joe Muffaraw and use him on a float. And I did. I said, sure, and I come up and I worked with them, and we had a pretty good time there. And then they said to me, why don't you take him home and keep him? So I did. And it was in Storyland up here in the valley for about 10 years. They fiberglassed him and then gave it back to me, and now he's sitting in my own backyard and he needs a little work, so Joe and I are going to have to do some painting here, I guess.
Bedour still enjoys telling stories about Joseph Montferrand, the man and the myth.
Worked hard, and worked so hard the sweat was coming down off his nose and running off his nose just like a river. And pretty soon it filled up this bog, and the water came up and rose, and the drops of sweat dropping on the surface of that little lake that formed big tidal waves, and they went in the shore and knocked down trees 3 feet across. There's a story one time, they caught him on the old footbridge, and the Chaudière, across the Chaudière Falls there. They got him in the middle, and there were shiners coming in from both sides, and he just picked one up by the heels, and he started to swing them around like that, and he just knocked them off as they came. He knocked them off the bridge. And that's how that old frog taught those frogs how to sing. And they taught a bunch of frog school teachers, and they went right across Canada, taught all the Canadian frogs how to sing. So if it hadn't been for Joe Muffaraw, frogs wouldn't be able to sing.
Hey, 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 City. Hi-ho, the best man in Ottawa, Bumper Joe. Big Joe, Bumper, 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 Big Joe, Bumper.
I know it's picking here, but be patient like you always are. I'm sure we'll all get our fill. A little bit more. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, yep. I'm just about ready here. Let me just check out Well, I guess we're just waiting now, ladies and gentlemen, for the go-ahead from mission control, because the Lord knows I'm sort of ready, kind of, sort of. We just got it, so for any newcomers out there, my name is Lucky Ron. Bear tracks coming back to me. Better grab your rifle before it's too late, cause the bear's got a little pig heading through the gate. He's big around the middle.
The guy that was in here before me was, his name was Lucky Jim Steele. And he went away to Toronto for a weekend to visit some friends or something or other, and I said, well, I'll take the show for you. So I took the show over and just took his poster and scratched out Jim and put Ron and just put them up, the very same posters. So that's how that, so I just kept it, not imagining I was going to be stuck with it by any means. It's not like my favorite name in the world. If I had any other, you know, choices, I certainly wouldn't have picked Lucky Ron. You know, Lucky Bob or something, I guess. No.
Chasing down the gully and we'll run him in the well. We'll shoot him in the bottom, just listen to him yell. He's big around the middle and he's wide across the rump. Running 90 miles an hour, taking 30 feet to jump. Ain't about been caught and ain't ever been trained. Some folks say he looks a lot like me.
I'm a house painter in the daytime. I don't have to really change too much to fit in here. All I have to do is, you know, make sure I make my way down here and put on a cowboy hat. That's about it. There's no real difference at all. Well, I shouldn't say there's no difference at all, other than the fact that on the cowboy hat, I don't do a heck of a lot of singing at work, so.
Parked outside the front door of the Silver Dish Cafe, waiting there in my old Chevrolet. Waiting for the waitress serving tables for the tips. Hey, truckers making cracks about her heads. She told me not to come inside and wait for her to board, 'cause the last time I threw someone out the door. Something cracks inside me when I see them making time. They don't know the waitress there is mine. So don't try to hand my girl a line. Keep your hands out to merchandise, she's mine. Mister, there'll be trouble in the air.
Some of the people in here, you can't help watch them, especially when you get a few drinks into people, and you know you got a pretty entertaining program happening. You know, especially when the people start getting like having a little bit too much fun to get on the dance floor. Now, that's a sight to behold. That is, yeah, yeah.
Freight train. Well, the freight train is taking me home. Well, I'm riding the rails after busting out of jail. The freight train is taking me home, home. Yeah, the freight train is taking me home.
Some guy was in here asking me if I was still an undertaker, you know. So don't believe anything you hear at all from the people. People think I live on a ranch. I live off of Gladstone. People ask, yeah, an undertaker, and on top of it, what's the word I'm looking for? Specializing in animals, you know. I don't know where they get the ideas. I've never seen the guy in my life anyways. I think he probably just come over and started talking to me. You know, we had something in common, you know, maybe he was like dug the holes or something. I have no idea.
Here on the freight train, with the wind whistling by, I can hear the wheels scream as we pick up steam. And brother, he'll get tossed by and by and by and by. And brother, he'll get tossed by and by. Freight train, freight train. Well, the freight train is taking me home. Well, I'm riding the rails after busting out of jail. The freight train is taking me home, home, home. And the freight train is taking me home. Well, I'm still sitting here on the freight train with my baby's letter in my hand. And remembering the day that she used to say that I was her loving man, man, man. That I was her loving man. Freight train, freight train. Well, the freight train is taking me home to the girl that I love underneath the stars above. And the freight train is taking me home, home, home. And the freight train is taking me home. This sounds like a good occasion to give away some of these cigarettes here that I've been saving for the last 25 years here. I can't make it all the way to the back. The people in the back can't make it all the way to the front, so I'm going to throw out a couple of handfuls in everybody's general vicinity, and then whenever you're making it up here, I'm just going to leave them right by the monitor. Just help yourself, A.
Then we went up to Frobisher Bay, and I started giving away cigars. So I started giving cigars away here then. I gave away like maybe 200-300 cigars, you know, the big boxes of cigars in the States for cheap and stuff. And then we still giving away hot dogs on Saturdays. Whenever the hot dog guy's around, there's free hot dogs always. Free hot dogs. It used to be with a skill testing question. Now everybody knows all the answers, so it's just free period now. No more of this, no knowledge involved to get a hot dog around this joint.
Still plenty of cigarettes, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about these things being stale. I kept an inventory, and I went out and bought fresh ones yesterday, so these things are just going to be, well, you know what? You want some more? More? You want some more? I'll save them another trip up here, I guess. You want some more, too? All right. Okay, a little more going to the back there, then I'm just going to leave them on the stage, okay? Because there's going to be like 8 million people that miss them anyways. But here we go. You know what I mean?
I can't really see it ending, but if I were to quit it, it would be because I fell in the sewer and found a big wallet full of money that nobody claimed. Let's put it that way, you know. And as far as the going farther on with the show into different different galaxies or whatever goes, I got an open mind towards the music business a little more than I did, you know, a couple of weeks ago or whatever the heck. But even still, if this goes any farther than it is now, it won't be for me trying. You know, it's got to come to the doorstep. I don't make any phone calls. I don't send any tapes out. I don't send any records out. I don't go sniffing around for anything at all, you know. So if I do make it any farther than I am here, it'll be either strictly completely amazing, or well, it won't be because I tried. Let's put it that way.
Love is a burning thing. It makes a fiery ring. My one desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 the flames went on higher. And it burned, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. Da, 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 da. Love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild.
send you home with this one here, folks. A little bit of a God-fearing song in case you don't make it to church on Sunday. I wonder so aimless, while I fill with sin, well, I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. And Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. But it's like a fool, I wandered astray. The straight is the way and narrow the gate. Now I have traded the wrong for the right. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Just like a blind man, I wandered along, worries and fears I kept for my own. And like a blind man, when God came back inside, praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.